Welcome back, guys. Today, we are continuing to play Geometry Dash. Now, in the last episode, I told you what I was doing and how far I got in this game originally. I believe I had gotten to Time Machine, if not further, but I believe Time Machine was the one I got to. But that is not the one we are doing today. Today, we are doing Poltergeist. And you will see how epically bad I am at the game. Now, back on our earlier topic. I don't know really where to go, but this time I'm trying something a little different. I'm trying to talk while I play the game instead of afterwards. And already it seems to have different effects. It's harder to do. Now, I already knew this from my other channel, but since I'm not using my actual voice, my natural voice, it's a lot harder to do and keep calm, or I will eventually get quite upset at the game, as everyone does. So you'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. Either way, when I was talking, I had mentioned that I didn't just mention, I merely had a full conversation about it. But you see, music is life for most of you, and if I repeat myself, I am sorry. Or I tend to forget some things. But my girlfriend at the time, she loved music with all her heart. She was in band. I don't know if she was in choir, I don't remember. But she could have done well if she had joined it. Actually, no, she wasn't, so yes. She could have done fantastic if she had joined choir. But that was up to her, and she decided not to. For she had an amazing voice. She played the trumpet and the guitar. And she was amazing. Her singing voice was fantastic. One of the best I've ever heard. Do I miss her? To an extent, yes. Now, some of you will ask, what happened? Why aren't you two together? Well, we were both in high school. I was a junior, she was a sophomore. And, as some of you know, not all high school relationships actually work out. And mine, well, ours didn't. We never really got into any fights. Well, that's a lie, we did. But we always made up afterwards, and it wasn't constant, it was random. But there were always good reasons to why. In the end, I don't want to say I blame myself, but in a way I do. But another way, it was most likely both of our parts that ruined the relationship. Now, to those that made it through high school, or to those that are, just know this. That one person you meet in high school isn't always gonna be there. Your friends won't always be there. Eventually, they will move on. You will find differences throughout life. One argument could change everything. One action could change your whole life. Whether it was a minor thing, or whether it was something larger. 1 second could change everything. Your future, and then the present. So don't expect your first relationship to go far. be careful on when you say I love you. For sometimes it's not true. The feelings you may think are love may just be affection or attraction. It may not be genuine. And I may get a lot of hate for this. But in time, you may understand where I'm coming from. Now, I'm not saying everything doesn't work out. Some are lucky enough to where their high school sweethearts actually work out. But if you ask any of the adults you know, you will find out that more than likely, all of their high school sweethearts didn't work out. Why? Well, you may think you know everything in high school. You may think you're not gonna change. But see, I graduated or left high school when I was 19. Most leave when they're 18. Some even earlier. Some later. But for me, I knew who I was in high school was not who I would end up being later on. For most people, they change immensely in their 20s. And while I was almost in my 20s, I knew I still had much to change. I had much to know about the real world. For I was still living underneath my parents' house. So I did not know the true part about being an adult and the true hardships. It's not as easy as you think. So if you live with your parents and they come home tired, let them rest. Just know that sometimes it's hard to be an adult. Tell your parents you love them. Make sure they know it. Now, that doesn't fall for everybody. Because some hate their parents, hate their family. And I was one of those. I hated my family, hated my parents. But overall, I learned that if you do that, you'll never quite understand what's going on in their lives. You may never know why things happen the way they do. Why are all these things going on in their life? What made them do that? Well, I do not have the answers for what and why they do things they do. Maybe they have a reason, maybe they don't. Either way, I'm gonna move on from this topic, because I'm getting to the point where I just repeat myself and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Besides, it might be a touchy subject, and that I do not want to get my fingers wet in. Either way, know that in high school, that person that says they love you may not exactly be telling the truth. For the girls and for the guys out there, protect yourself. And for those that, and that doesn't just fall for girls and guys, transgenders, non-binary, anything that you say you are. I'm not gonna list the names because I do not know them and I do not know exactly what they mean. For I still have yet to understand that. Even though many of my friends use those labels as what do they call them. I still do not know, and I don't know if I ever will. But what I believe, that was either really easy or I'm just too calm to actually do anything. Either way, damn it. I say it's easy, but then I die. Either way, protect yourself. Don't do anything you will regret later on. And if you see somebody that's being bullied, even if it's by your friends, stand up for that person. Don't just let it go on. You don't know what they're doing in their life. You don't know what happens at their house. They could have really poor living standards. They may not have a great family or many friends. So stick up to them. Even if it is your best friend that you've known since middle school, that is bullying this person that you don't even like, just ask your friend to stop and leave them alone. And if not, do something good for him or her. For we really have no idea what goes on in other people's lives, and we have no reason to judge. Either way, I think if I die a couple more times, I'm going to end the episode. And then I may just go back to talking afterwards. But either way, you have been listening in on Flynn's Legacy. And this, of course, is Flynn. Hope to see you guys in the next episode. And until then, be safe out there. And as Cinnamon Toast Ken would say, happy birthday if it's your birthday. Those aren't his exact words, but you get the point I'm making. Have fun out there. Be safe.